consecutive losses for the Toronto Raptors as they fall yet again. This time 116-105 to the Cleveland Cavaliers, and they've lost 8 consecutive games for the first time since, get this one, 2012. They have not lost 8 straight games since 2012. That is horrendous. With the loss today, the Raptors dropped to 17-25 on the year. 8 games under 500. Put into perspective, the number 8 seed, the Boston Celtics, are 21-21. They are a 500 ball club. Raptor fans, things are not looking good right now. Trade deadline is less than a week away? The rumors are flurrying about the Miami Heat and Kyle Lowry and Norman Powell and getting Tyler Hero back and all this craziness. I don't know how to feel. But let's break this game down for what it is. First quarter, Raptors play pretty damn good. They're +5 in the quarter. They win it 28-23. And for the first time in a while, they're not trying to climb back into a game early on, which is great. It's exactly where you want to be. Problem is, that doesn't last very long. In the second quarter, again, let me rephrase this. You allowed 23 in the first quarter. In the second, you allowed 36. You scored 29, but you're -7. Now you're stuck 2 going into the break. And at the end of the first half, Fred VanVleet and Colin Sexton start yapping each other, and things get a little ugly. It could be frustration from the Raptors standpoint as well. Obviously, Sexton, I think, started it. But either way, it doesn't matter. Lots of anger. I think it was a double technical because that's the referee's way of saying both people are in the wrong, just offset each other. Right? It's like hockey saying, 4-on-4. You know, it's that kind of thing. But you go into the third quarter, you're only down by 2. You're literally right there. And you're on the first side of a back-to-back. So you need to come out of the gate in the second half strong. They do the total opposite. In the third quarter, the Raptors can't make a shot to save their life. And they can't play defense again. What happened to that first quarter Toronto Raptors team? In the third, Sexton plays extremely well. The team drops 32. They're +14 in the quarter. And the Raptors go into the fourth down 16. At one point in the fourth, the Raptors are down by 22. Like, it is so bad. Cleveland is still behind the Raptors, even after beating them. Tells us how bad they are and how rough they've been lately. And they're making your team look stupid. And I don't buy the whole COVID nonsense because OG's been 2 games back. Fred and Pascal are 3 games back. And you lost to Cleveland. The Cleveland is saying, hey, do a job against a struggling team. They're feeling the same way about us as we are to them. And that is where the Toronto Raptors are sitting right now in that fourth quarter. Yeah, the Raptors cut that. They somehow got it from 22 down to 6. And we're like, whoa, the team's come back. Oh, wait. No, they don't. They get it back to double digits again. But then the Raptors make a flurry late. They're only down by 7 with just over 3 minutes left. There's still time. But no, they can't get lower than 6. And they lose by 11. You won the fourth quarter 30-25. Oh, doesn't matter. You allowed almost 70 points in the middle frames. You can't allow that if you're trying to win basketball games. Nobody jumped out at me as an offensive dynamo. Everyone was horrendous shooting the 3. And once again, you make the other team look like an offensive juggernaut. The Cleveland Cavaliers from the field, 51% from 3. 52% from 3. The Raptors shot 39% from the field and 33% from 3. We all shot 84% from the line. They shot 75% from the line. But in the end, that doesn't really matter because it wasn't 40-14 in free throw attempts. That's for damn sure. Like I said, no one jumped out. Fred VanVleet, 23 points. Yeah, that's nice. 1 rebound, 7 dimes. It looks great. He shot 8 of 24 and was 5 of 15 from three-point range. That ain't pretty. He had 2 steals in the game. That's great. You turn them over a bazillion times, but you still lost. Pascal, not sure where he was today. 9 points, 3 boards, 2 dimes. Shot 4 of 12, was 1 of 3 from 3. He had 2 steals. OG, I thought he was probably one of the better starters out there, consistently. On the defensive end, and he gave you some pretty sound offensive possessions. Was 17 points, 6 boards, 2 dimes. Shot 7 of 15, was 2 of 6 from 3, and he had 3 steals in the game. You know, a couple of really good plays he had in Jarrett Allen in transition where Allen's always going to look for the block on the inside. You've learned that with Jarrett Allen over the years. So what does OG do? He gets in the paint, fakes it, gets him to jump, then dunks it over him. Or dunks it out of the way, dunks him when he runs out of the way, or whatever the case may be. Very sound possessions from OG. Lowry, 18 points, 8 boards, 18 points, 8 boards, 4 dimes, or flip the rebounds and assists, something like that. 5 of 14 from the field. Not pretty at all. Shot 4 of 9 from 3. That's great. Norman Powell, 18 points, 2 boards, shot 7 of 16, was 2 of 7 from three-point range. What guy in those names that I just mentioned, and really those are your starters, what guy there stood out to you? No one. You go to the other side. Who stood out for the Cleveland Cavaliers? Colin Sexton. He had 36. He made the impact. He made that huge push in that third quarter to give them that huge lead by 16 after 3 quarters of play. And there's some crazy numbers with this game, guys, right? You look at the stats, right? You look at the offensive rebounds, you look at the assists, you look at the points off of turnovers, you look at, all these crazy numbers. You're like, wow, the Raptors actually played a pretty good game. No, they didn't. They couldn't make shots. They couldn't play defense. They got out-rebounded by 17. Minus 17 in the glass. This team, I swear, is one of the worst rebounding teams in basketball. They have to be. They don't have an actual big. And Aaron Baines and Boucher are not bigs. I'm sorry. I don't care what anybody says. Bigs can rebound. Those 2 guys cannot. Boucher did not make an impact today. See, the funny thing is, you were minus 17 in the glass, but you're plus 12 in turnovers. When some teams don't even have 12 turnovers in a game, let alone a differential of 12. They had like 28 turnovers. And you still lost. I don't know what else to say about this team, guys. I really don't. I'm running out of things to say. They're struggling mightily. They can't rebound. They're having a tough time shooting the ball. They still can't play defense consistently over 48 minutes. And they've lost 8 straight games for the first time in 9 years. Tells you how spoiled Raptor fans have been over the last while. 8 consecutive losses. You're in the bottom 8 in the NBA in record. You look at the lottery, you're, 7th, I think, coming into the game today. Ridiculous. I did not expect this coming into the season. Anybody who said they predicted this, you're nuts. Because other than Ibaka and Gasol, and you're clearly seeing the holes those guys left, even though Gasol, Laker fans are having a heyday with Marc Gasol, but either way, you lost those 2 guys, and look at what this team has done. Or not done, for that matter. Everybody else, more or less, is the same. Other than Rondé Hollis-Jefferson, but come on. I mean, he doesn't take your team, 50-win team, to a 8-game under team. But losing a guy like Serge Ibaka royally destroyed your team. And we all thought Aaron Baines plugging in there would be kind of a serviceable option. Clearly, that's not the case. And this team is not good enough. I'm going to be flat out. I've not really said this in many videos other than just, they're playing bad, they're playing. No. They are flat out terrible. They have not given you any consistent offense, any consistent defense. You never know from one whistle to the next what team you're going to see for which possession. It's insane. You know when you hear teams go on runs, this team went on a nice run, and they got to stop, and they blew this team out. The Raptors can't do that. They won the first quarter by 5. They played great. They won the first quarter, yeah. And then after that, down the tube they go. But the fourth quarter, they played a pretty good fourth quarter after they were down by 22. It didn't make any sense. The inconsistency of this team is incredible. Your next game, as I mentioned earlier, is a back-to-back. You go to Houston to take on the Rockets. That is not a good basketball team there. Then again, we're not very good either right now. So who knows what's going to happen tomorrow in Houston. It's a 9 o'clock tip-off down there in Houston, Texas. And for the Raptors, you got a long flight. You got to play on a back-to-back. I don't know if Houston's playing tonight. You got to play at 9 o'clock. Who knows what's going to happen tomorrow night, Raptor fans? I have no idea. All I know is that this team is royally struggling. The trade deadline is upon us. What do you think this team should do? We've heard the rumors with Lowry and Norman Powell, and we don't like to hear them. However, you've lost 8 straight. You're 8 games under 500. You're probably not going to make the playoffs at this rate. And the trade deadline is right around the corner. I'm sorry, I don't see this team adding anybody. If anything, they're subtracting. And if that's the case, it sounds more or less like it's going to be either Lowry, Powell, or both. And I hate to say it being a diehard Raptor fan and loving Lowry till the day he leaves this team. And Norman Powell the way he's played all year long. But Raptor fans, we got to be realistic here. And I'm going to say it the way it is. We want this team to be back into a championship caliber team, right? That's what we want. They're not there right now, clearly. But to do so, you need talent. We are clearly seeing you cannot win on good players. You need great players. Colin Sexton's averaging 26 a night over the last little while. Other than Norman Powell, you're not getting that from any Toronto Raptor. Consistently. You need that. Now, does that come through the draft? I don't know. But the draft at least gives you that good option. And for the Toronto Raptors, do you acquire more draft picks? Do you acquire young players? What do they do? Or do they stay packed the way it is and let the season ride out the way it is? I have no idea. I'm going to pose that question to you guys. What do you want to see this team looking like post-trade deadline? Let me know in the comments below, all right? So you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and did not enjoy the game today, if you're a Raptor fan, if you are a Cavs fan and you liked the game, hey, you can smack that like button. I do appreciate that. And hit that subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below your thoughts on the video, your thoughts on the game. What'd you like, what'd you not like from today's game? As I mentioned, what do you think this team should look like post-trade deadline? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Twitter is down below for myself. Follow up, send me a DM, do all that great stuff. Also, the Instagram page is down below, so follow up there if you have not done so already. And I will talk to you guys. Jay's edition will be on Tuesday afternoon as we'll be breaking down the past week's games for the Toronto Blue Jays. A rough one today with Tanner Roark in midseason form, it looks like. We'll talk about that on Tuesday afternoon. As for the Leafs, we'll talk to you on Thursday. They don't play till Thursday. They're in Ottawa taking on the Sens. I think it's a 7 o'clock puck drop there. The Buds looking for back-to-back W's after their great victory yesterday and the shutout for Jack Campbell yesterday. Who's going to be in on Thursday? We'll have to wait and see. As for the Raptors, though, as we've mentioned, their next game is tomorrow night, 9 o'clock tip-off in Houston, taking on the Rockets. What are we going to see? We'll have to wait and see. All right, so thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Hope you guys for the video. Talk to you guys then.